Chapter 97 of Married Thrice to Salted Fish. Although they'd kept the supply shortage a secret, the soldiers inevitably began to whisper when they saw that the rice had turned to clear porridge, the steamed ones had become a little smaller, and the firewood provided for heating during the night was not enough to last till daybreak. This was especially so among the veterans who had been in the Northwest last year. They'd experienced a shortage before, had stepped onto the battlefield hungry. Even if they did not fear death, they didn't want to die too aggrieved. At the very least, they can't die at the hands of their enemies, unable to give it their all because they didn't have enough to eat. Among the generals, Shipe had the best relationship with the common soldiers. Someone asked him if they were running out of provisions again. Shipe could only whip out his pre-prepared statement. Everyone relax. We have more than enough grain and fodder, but the weather's getting colder and colder. The general is worried we will find ourselves in the same situation as last year. The roads might be blocked by heavy snow, which might prevent supplies from reaching us. So we thought to best prepare for any possible contingency and save supplies now. However, this kind of rhetoric can only be used once or twice. If said too often, the soldiers would complain even more. Since there's enough provisions, why not take it out for the men to use? 2 meals a day of this watery, tasteless food, barely enough to fill the gaps between our teeth. How are we supposed to practice when we haven't got enough food to eat? And it's so damn cold at night. Standing at guard duty for half the night froze my face stiff. Us soldiers aside, if this keeps up, the horses won't be able to move. Seeing the army's morale getting weaker and weaker, Wu Yoyan couldn't sit still. If we continue to waste time like this, we are all going to waste away. In ancient times, armies only bought supplies enough for 3 days. If they didn't have enough, they fought. If they won, they looted for supplies. If they lost, it's still better than starving to death. We have enough supplies for more than just 3 days. Why can't we fight? There was only one small brazier of firewood burning in the tent, and the only place it could warm was the area immediately surrounding it. Gu Fuzhao has been sitting beside it for a long time, and still only his hands had warmed up. His armor was still cold as ice. He had his chin resting on his palm. Wu Yoyan and Shepe's words, they have been repeating countless times over the past few days, flooding into his ears. Shepe shook his head, disagreeing. General Xiao Wu, as you have said yourself, that was in the ancient times. If we want to capture a city as big as Yongliang, we need at least 10 times as many besiegers as defenders. General Shi, don't you think, given how long we have been bearing out the Shishya, their current situation must be worse than ours? During the past few months, our army has repaired fortifications. We have surrounded them, cutting them off from aid. Everything is ready. If we continue to delay, the days will get colder and colder. If the roads are blocked by heavy snow like last year, wouldn't we turn into an isolated force as well? But given the current situation, even if we capture Yongliang, I'm afraid the casualties will be immeasurable. There is no war without casualties, Wu Yoyan said in desperation. General Shi must fear death, cravenly clinging so to life. Yoyan, Gu Fuzhao said, watch your words. Wu Yoyan was startled, only then seeming to remember that Gu Fuzhao was sitting behind him. The general was actually listening to us? Gu Fuzhao looked up at him. Otherwise, you were silent the whole time. I thought you were pondering something. Pondering matters while listening to discussions, doing two things at once is an essential skill for a general. Gu Fuzhao added some more firewood to the fire. Your words were too much just now. Go and apologize to General Shi. Just as Wu Yuan was about to apologize, Shi Pei smiled wryly and said, I really am afraid of death. What I am afraid of is for my brothers to die in vain. Whether a general or a mess cook, they are all sons of their parents. Each is a living life. Wu Yuan forgot about apologizing and retorted, but if we don't accept these casualties now, there may be even more casualties in the future. Both Wu Yuan and Shi Pei weren't people to stand on formality, and they have a friendship formed from facing danger together. Quarreling inside and even outside the command tent was not unusual. So long as it wasn't excessive, Gu Fuzhao didn't pay them any mind. The two were in the middle of such a fierce argument that they didn't even notice when Gu Fuzhao left. It was mealtime in the army, and there were a seemingly endless queue in front of the kitchen. Gu Fuzhao stood behind the tent to observe secretly. He saw that everyone received only a ball of gruel and a steamed bun about the size of Lin Chingyu's fist. It wasn't enough to eat in summer, let alone in the icy and snowy winter. After receiving his steamed bun, one tall and robust soldier, instead of gobbling it up like the others, put the steamed bun into his iron mail. Gu Fuzhao thought it a little strange, so he quietly followed behind the man. He went around tent after tent, finally arriving at the stables. The man shouted, Little Lin Ji! The young man, who was feeding the one of the horses, turned around, a smile on his delicate face. Zhang the Ge. The man stuffed the steamed bun he had carried all the way here into the young man's hand. Quick, eat this while it's hot. The young man glared at him. It's one steamed bun per person. I already ate mine. What will you eat? Here, take it back. The man refused to take it. I'm not hungry, so why should I eat? Didn't I tell you that General Shi and I came from the same village? He's looking after me. I just ate the 2 meat buns he gave me. I'm already full. Liar, I can even hear your stomach growling. Gu Fuzhao was watching with relish when suddenly a voice came from behind. General? There was no one else capable of this kind of ghost-like movement except Shen Haoshi. Shen Haoshi's injury had yet to fully heal, but he couldn't stay idle, and as soon as he managed to get out of the bed, he was out and about doing what he could. Gu Fuzhao didn't disturb little Lin Shi and Zhang Dage and left quietly with Shen Haoshi. What's the matter, little Shenji? Shen Haoshi was momentarily stunned. He said, We have a report from the scouts. The road from Gongyang to Yonglian has been blocked by heavy snow. The supply wagons can't get through. People will have to carry it through load by load. Gu Fuzhao looked back at the 2 people in the stable. He chuckled lightly and said helplessly, What bad luck. Looks like I really have no other choice. Gu Fuzhao was obviously smiling, but Shen Haoshi's chest inexplicably tightened. General? Let's go, Gu Fuzhao said. Let's see if Wu Yuan and Shi Pei are done arguing. In the tent, the debate between Wu Yuan and Shi Pei was still going strong. Gu Fuzhao picked up the Shi Chen he had brought with him from the capital, casually plucking a few strings. The Shi Chen made a shrill sound. The 2 finally closed their mouths and looked towards Gu Fuzhao. Gu Fuzhao's tone was the same as usual. Let the soldiers eat their fill for the next 2 days. After these 2 days, rally the troops to attack the city. Wu Yoyan and Shi Pei had two completely different expressions on their faces. Wu Yoyan was overjoyed and left in a hurry after saying, I will make the preparations now. Shi Pei kept making to speak but stopping. Gu Fuzhao guessed what he was going to say. He said, Wu Yoyan is right. We will inevitably have to attack the city. If this continues to drag on, the casualties will be far worse. Shi Pei said in a solemn voice, Since the general has made up his mind, I will obey your orders. Don't worry too much, Gu Fuzhao comforted him. I have an idea. Maybe I can recover Yongliang while also minimizing casualties. Shi Pei's eyes lit up. What trick does the general have up his sleeve? It's not some brilliant scheme, Gu Fuzhao said, selling the climax of the story. You will know when the time comes, but I really hope I won't need it. On this day, the snow that had been falling for several days finally stopped. Under the clear moonlight, the barracks seemed to be the same as usual. At the same time, it seemed to be a little quieter. Gu Fuzhao was lying in bed, reading Lin Qingyu's letters for the 180th time by the dim light of the fire. A large part of Lin Qingyu's letters were about the situation in the capital. Occasionally, there would be responses to his written words of love. He wrote to Lin Qingyu, Do you know those dyes with red seeds? Like these lovesickness made bone deep? Lin Qingyu replied to him, I do. Everything in the capital is fairly stable, but Xiao Jie is so stupid that it bothers me. He wrote in reply to Lin Qingyu, Then replace him. No, that's not it. Dr. Lin, I have been waiting for your reply for a month, and all you give me is reply is I do? At the very least, you should say that you miss me. Lin Qingyu replied to him, Before we recover Yongliang, I don't want to make any moves against those two. I miss you. He began to play little tricks. What part of me do you miss? What do you want to do with me? You can say a little more than that, Dr. Lin. I would love to hear it. Lin Qingyu replied to him, Shirong is dissatisfied with being controlled. He is making repeated provocations. I am at the end of my patience. He replied, depressed, Why do you have to put up with him? Just end him. I didn't leave you so many people to let them see you be so wronged. And Baba, you didn't reply to my sweet words from my last letter. If you still don't reply this time, I'm going to make a fuss. Lin Qingyu, I want to have sex with you. Are you satisfied now? Of course, I'm putting up with him for you and the Northwest. But Shirong has already secretly wooed the Prime Minister and King Heng to his side. The Tianji camp is also under his control. I'm afraid I'm in no position to make the first move. These two incomparably idiotic fools. Looking at Lin Qingyu's upright and elegant handwriting, Gu Fuzhao could clearly make out this great beauty who was obviously extremely angry and yet had to maintain his composure. Without him, no matter how upset Lin Qingyu was, there would be no one to coax him. He wondered how pitiful and helpless Lin Qingyu was. Then, while being pitiful and helpless, he would go on to do bad things, making the people who have offended him even more pitiful and helpless. It's a pity he couldn't see it. What a shame. If this long-distance relationship continues, his first kiss will come back. General, Wu Yuyan's voice preceded his arrival. I have researched a never-before-seen brand new information. Even the Shisha's demon commander might not be able to break through this formation. Gu Fuzhao stuffed the letters under his pillow and said perfunctorily, "That's amazing. You came just at the right time. Come with me and let's admire the moon." Wu Yoyan couldn't understand. The general is still in a mood to admire the moon at a time like this? A great battle is before us. What we should be doing is looking at these formations. "You're too nervous, Yoyan," Gu Fuzhao smiled. "Even if it is moonlight before a great battle, we mustn't let it down." He walked out of the tent, sat down by the tent flap, and patted the empty spot beside him. "Come and sit. Admire the moon with me, and we will take a look at your formation afterwards." Wu Yoyan was about to refuse, and Gu Fuzhao added, "This is an order." Wu Yoyan sat down begrudgingly next to Gu Fuzhao. Gu Fuzhao asked him, "How does the bright moon in the northwest compare to the capital?" Wu Yoyan looked up. "Aren't they the same?" Gu Fuzhao shook his head and sighed with a smile. What a boring straight man. He watched the moon quietly for a while and then suddenly said, "Yoyan, if I am unfortunately captured." Wu Yoyan hastily interrupted. "General, please don't say such words. The general has planned everything. Our army will win this battle." "No need to get so agitated," Gu Fuzhao said with a smile. "I mean, just in case." Wu Yoyan said resolutely, "There will be no just in cases." When Zhao Mingwei was defeated in Yongliang and captured by the enemy, he swung his knife and killed himself without the slightest hesitation. Those who venerated the general could be killed but could not be humiliated. General Gu must think so too. If he ever falls into the hands of the enemy, he would never give them the opportunity to humiliate him. Gu Fuzhao said leisurely, "I just want to say that if I'm unfortunately captured, you must come and save me." Wu Yoyan was stunned. "Huh?" "I promised that Imperial Physician Lin that I wouldn't die. I wrote him a letter of guarantee." Gu Fuzhao stretched out his hand, watching the clear light fall onto his palm. His lips curved into a smile. "So, no matter what happens, please, you must find a way to save me. Please."